UFC 5 is coming. It's coming out. Are you excited?
I'm really excited.
Now, fighting games, they're a big deal in this house. This is how we settle our disputes, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
By me kicking his ass every single time I can. Isn't that right? UFC, tell them about the jabs. Tell them about the jabs.
Huh?
Not
the
jabs. You know what I said to him? I said, I'm going to beat you with jabs only. Not even going to mix it up. Left jab only. You just couldn't figure out how to parry to save your life, could you? And I beat him with the jab. It's all right. Because I don't think it was your fault. It was because UFC 4 was really, really bad.
Yeah.
See, I didn't like UFC 4. There wasn't really much UFC in UFC 4. And what I mean by that is it was a bit cartoonish. It was a bit like more of a fighting game. Like the grappling was horrible.
Oh.
Wasn't it?
And the stuff on the ground were horrible.
The ground and pound was awful. The grappling.
Trying to change onto a different.
It was just awful. UFC 3 was so much better. UFC 4, it was like they just wanted to treat it like a kickboxing game. It was really like it was just ridiculous. You could knock each other down 17 times each and they'd just pop up off the ground and act like nothing had happened. Like what we want to see in UFC 5 is a bit more damage retention.
Oh, yeah.
Like where when you're rocked and when you're hurt, you're still hurt by it. You know what I mean? Like in real combat.
I hope like in the campaign they do it so like if you get hurt, like the next match that you do, for example, if you got like kicked in the stomach or something, like the next match, like you can't.
Yeah, maybe like injuries.
Yeah.
And they cross over, perhaps. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe if you smash your hand in career mode, like your hand is a bit more vulnerable.
Yeah.
For a while, so you have to sort of protect it. I think the career mode should be exciting as well. It should be fun. MMA is mental. No, Conor McGregor, he's out here attacking buses. You know, people are attacking each other in restaurants. Like, we want to build a character, and that's another thing. The character creation was so bad on UFC 4. Like, I want to be able to create a good character and then go through a really cool campaign mode.
The campaign, most UFC games campaign.
They're awful. I want to go to the press conference and start talking trash.
Yeah.
You know, your mum. You know, I want to start doing that, building that. You know, selling the fight because that's what they do. Conor McGregor, people watch him because he sells the fight. Like Chael Sonnen would sell the fight. He'd just talking smack to people. I want to get a mic and do my mic drop moment. You know, and they should have like a hype meter where the better you do, the more the thing hypes up, the more of a star you become.
Yeah.
But we need to see, really importantly, is more brutality because UFC 4 wasn't brutal at all.
It's like little drops of blood.
Tiny little cuts. Like you'll kick a man in the face 77 times and he'll have a tiny little cut and like come on, man. Like, it doesn't need to be Mortal Kombat for sure, but we're in a cage. Cage fighting. Like, smashing each other with knees, with elbows, with uppercuts, and it's like dumping them on their head, you know? And bring the elbows back as well, because they used to let you elbow on the ground, like, pow! You'd be in UFC 3 and you'd be ground and pounding, you could hit them with elbows, and then they took it away. I don't understand why.
Do you know what else they should probably add? Like a mode, like a bare knuckle mode.
Yo, listen, Fight Night Champion had bare knuckle mode, and it was legit. Like, their faces looked like someone had taken a sledgehammer to a watermelon. It was just messed up. Like, bring that back. I'd say for this one, they need to sort of drop the gimmicks a little bit, because UFC 4 was just so many gimmicks. Like, and they're fun, but I feel like the gameplay suffered. Just make it about the gameplay needs to be real. I hope this is PS5 and Xbox Series XS only.
The graphics would look well good if it was.
Because I always thought the graphics in UFC 3 were better than the graphics in UFC 4.
Yeah.
And UFC 3 was better anyway. Like, it was a better game.
You should have swapped them out.
I don't know what happened to UFC 4, but now you're too young. So you never played before. EA made UFC, THQ made UFC, and THQ are the ones who used to make the wrestling games, and their UFC games are so much better than the ones we've been getting. So yeah, We need to see better graphics as a given, more brutality, a much better ground game. The ground game should be a lot of fun. It should be something which you can, really spend time on, learn, and be good at. Submissions, we want to see. It just needs to be better all around, doesn't it? Better career mode, so career modes are awful. Create character modes.
Oh yeah, because it'd be not great.
You know what I've always wanted to have in these games? It's just a small thing. But when you make a character, not for career mode, you just create a character, right?
Yeah.
And you like he will just stick all the stats on 100, just everything. So everything they do is like perfect. They'll go in the moves and the world class on every single move. Even the jab is the best. His jab will hit you like a crow cop right kick, right? But do you know what? When you make your super character who's like the Goku of MMA, and then you look at their record and it's like 0, 0, 0.
Oh yeah.
It'd be good if you could just create your own record, just for the sake of a bit of headcanon. Just obviously he would be like going 5,000 if you could do that, but still it'd be nice to be able to do it. Or even if at least it just tracked your wins and losses, so when you play, in normal matches, at least remember it just gives you a record based on your wins that way.
Like you'll do like 10 matches and like in the bottom corner it'll say 0.
I hate that. I'm trying to pretend like I'm in the UFC and I'm, beating everyone, and then it comes up as like making his debut 0, 0. Oh, God's sake! But I'm excited. Yeah, we need to see more gameplay, but UFC 4 was so bad, we've been waiting patiently. I get to beat you at UFC 5 now. Over and over and over again. Stamina, that always gets you. Always gets him. He just charges forward, doing this, just like a lunatic. I just have to move around a little bit, pop, and you're down.
Wow.
Maybe this one will be different. It'll get there.
But the only time I beat you is when I use that overpowered guy.
There's a few people in UFC 4 where they're really overpowered though, like or next to impossible to beat. But yeah, I really want to see Damage like actually retain and make a difference. Yeah. You shouldn't be able to take massive kicks to the face, get knocked down, and just stand up like you tripped over. Like you should be wobbly. But I want to see wobble physics where you lose your legs a bit and you're like, oh god,
Happens for like 2 seconds and then you're fine.
Yeah. Anyway, UFC 5. Yeah, I'm excited about this one. And that should be coming out this year as well.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully it's better than UFC 4.
Hopefully. I don't know. If it's not, then not. UFC 4 was just so awful.
It's just getting worse.
It's awful. Oh, terrible game. Anyway, yeah, this is where we awkwardly walk off. Bye.
Yep.